What's up? What's up? What's going on? What's going on, guys? What is going on? Facebook? What is going on? YouTube? What's going on? Twitter world? What is happening in radio land? This is your man, Mr. Charles, and this is Charles Real Talk Podcast. Welcome to the jungle. What's going on, folks? Listen, I know I haven't been on here in a while doing a podcast, but today, today was much more different than usual because today I was really touched by a news article that I kind of stumbled across, really, because I wasn't really looking for it. I was actually looking for something to do with sports, and I ran across this article today or this news briefing about something that transpired here in the city I live in, the city of Jacksonville, better known as Duval County. And I was looking at this news article, and it was talking about something that was very shocking as well as alarming in this article. For those who live in Duval, I'm pretty sure you probably already heard of it or heard about the situation. If you didn't, I hope that this will bring a lot of what's going on in Duval to light. Um, I want to talk about this triple homicide that took place um, a few nights ago here in Jacksonville. I believe it happened on the north side of Jacksonville, where this young man, this young man killed his grandparents, his grandmother, his grandfather, and a family friend. And what is more shocking than anything that this young man is only 18 years old. Um, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. I was devastated to see that one of our young people can be so diabolical as to kill his own grandparents and another individual just trying to rob them, trying to rob your own family members, which is shocking to me in so many ways. That a 18-year-old will want to do that because we all know that grandparents are the ones that we usually all cling to. So to see that this young man killed his grandparents uh, just to rob them, it was just shocking and alarming to me. Let me give you a little background on the situation. So, an 18-year-old kills grandparents and family friend Sunday night. Um, I believe I'm pronouncing her name right. I hope I am. Adina Hardy and Gregory um, Merritt were both in their 60s, along with a family friend, was murdered by their grandson, Jadarius Jones. The newspaper initially had it as Johnson, but it's Jones. Jadarius Jones, 18 years old. As I said before, so and the charge as follows. So he was charged with armed robbery, he was charged with oil theft, and he was charged with 3 counts of second degree murder. Um, how they determine that, I couldn't explain to you. I don't have a law degree, so I can't tell you how they determine first degree, second degree, third degree, however they do it. But he was charged with 3 counts of second degree murder. Um, this is just shocking because this kid is only 18. He was only 18. He tried to elude the cops, but they was on him so fast that he really couldn't get away, man. And it's just shocking that that is going on in Duval, and we are not paying attention to these unlawful or unethical way of living that our young generation is currently living. At this rate, our young generation, our young generation currently right now, it's going to sound so far-fetched, but they're going to become extinct. I'm going to tell you why. Because they're killing each other off, or they're spending the rest of their lives in prison because they think that the streets is what makes them or define them, when in fact that it doesn't. If if we can get these young kids to understand that the streets doesn't define you or your future, then we can make Head Start into getting our young generation back on track so we can save this generation. Because right now we are losing them at a rapid pace. Young men, young women, we are losing these kids at a rapid pace. And just to follow up on pace, because I use that word, I want to give you an example of of what is actually going on right here in Duval. So we are currently 18 days. We're currently 18 days into the year 2023. Currently 18 days into the year 2023, and Jacksonville, Duval County, already in 18 days have 10 murders slash, as they like to say, homicides. But 10 murders has occurred in the first 18 days of 2023. Now, I don't stop there because this information that I'm giving you is a little bit more deeper than that. But before we get into the next section of that information, I just want the people of Duval, I want you to understand, whether it be Duval, whether it be Broward County, whether it be Dade County, whether it be Hillsborough County, and I'm talking Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, all those areas. We have got to wake up to our generation because we're sleeping. Like we act like we don't care, and if we act like we don't care, they're gonna act like they don't, which they really don't. This generation has no sense of life. Life doesn't mean anything to them. I have countless videos that I don't wish to share because the murders are so gruesome that I don't want to put negativity in the atmosphere. The matter is, we have young kids murdering each other at an enormous rate right now. And it is just crazy how we losing at least 3 to 5 kids every week here in the state of Florida to murder. Now, that's to touch on something. I wanted you guys to understand how serious this year is becoming and how detrimental it is for us to get on top of this before it get out of hand. At this time last year, Duval had 9 murders. Now follow me now. They had 9 murders slash again homicides in this city. They hit 10. They hit 10 by the 27th of January. That's when they finally hit 10. Now remember the day is the 18th, and they hit 10 last year on the 27th. It's the 18th. They're already at 10. So you do the math. You see what I'm saying? So, and according to that's according to the Time Union's data record that they have on homicides and murders from last year to this year. The data already also reflects that Jacksonville is already ahead of pace that saw 162 murders slash homicides, as they like to call them, homicides. Last year, they had 162 homicides murders slash murders in 2022. But the biggest total came in 2020 where they had 177. They are on pace to break that record. Now, mind you, in 2020, they had 177. Now, as of the 18th of January, 2020, they had only had 6 homicides compared to now we at the same date in 2023 and they have 10. And they in 2020 they didn't reach 10 to the 24th. So you guys see the pace that this county is on and what is going on. Now I've been trying to get some background information on the Darius Jones, but I haven't been able to get anything yet. I'm still searching for it, trying to figure out, how was he in school? Did he play sports? Whatever the case may be, I want to learn more about it. But I also want to give you guys a tip that same morning, early that morning, 2 women were shot on the expressway at home, I believe, and they were between the age of 20 and 25 and 35, and their car was shot up, and one of them passed away as well from that drive-by shooting. I'm really contemplating staying in Duval anymore because it's like you have fear to walk out your own home to go do some shopping, to go get something to eat, and you're liable to get shot. It is so many senseless deaths happening this year, and it is so sad. It is so sad that our people have lost any sense of dignity, any sense of responsibility, any sense of caring about the next life. They don't care anymore. That is so sad because we are not intervening. We're not talking to these kids. We're not, those of us who've been in the streets or experienced the streets, who know what the streets bring, who know what that asphalt actually offers, and it doesn't offer love. It doesn't offer fucking love. And if the kids don't understand that, then this is going to continue. Kids got to understand that you only owe your loyalty to your family. And that don't sometimes necessarily have to be all the time. But you owe your loyalty to your family. You owe your loyalty to your kids. But this kid killed his own grandparents. That is so sad. That is, I could never ever contemplate or see myself wanting to harm my grandparents. No matter how mad I got. Grandma and granddad was off limits to anybody. You feel me? Now y'all gotta understand what I'm saying, man. This is serious. This is not just for clout or views or anything like that. This shit's serious, Jacksonville. Duval, this is serious. You pay more attention to a playoff game than you pay to the children that is running the streets lost. What can we do? What can we do to change this mindset of these kids? What can we do to save them from becoming extinct because they're on their path to becoming that way? If you don't believe me, check the numbers. You don't believe me, look at it. Look at it. Look how these kids are dying at rapid numbers. I'm not talking white kids. I'm talking African American kids, black kids. Everybody want to be a gangster. Everybody want to be in the streets. Everybody want to talk about they this, they that. Everybody want to prove their loyalty to the next individual who don't give a fuck about them. Because once you get locked up in that county jail, them dudes forget about you. That loyalty shit goes out the window. Once you get locked up, loyalty is gone. And don't get locked up together. Don't get locked up a group of y'all. Loyalty is gone. You don't believe that? Ask Young Thug. Prime example. If you don't believe that the streets don't give a damn about you when you're out of sight, ask Young Thug. I don't know what we can do. I'm open to ideas. I'm open to suggestions. I want this to stop. And I know a lot of people might say, well, damn, Charles, when you was young, you was in the streets, you robbed people, you did this, you did that. But we wasn't killing people. We wasn't killing people. When I was coming up, man, you fought. You used your hand. You got your ass whooped, you try again. You get your ass whooped, okay, that's it. I ain't gonna get no gun. They ain't gonna get no gun. We banged out. That was it. That was it. I was in some legendary bangers back in the days. A lot of them. A lot of them who turned out to be big time, you know what I'm saying, street dudes. But we banged out of junior high school, senior high school, whatever case may be. But ain't nobody died behind it. Ain't nobody died behind it. I got my ass up. I whooped some ass. That was the way it was back in the day. It was somebody better than you. But not today, not no more. These kids don't do that. These kids don't do that. You got 8, 9-year-olds carrying guns to school, pulling guns on teachers. That was unheard of when I was coming up. But now today, man, 2023, man, we are so clouded by anger. We are so clouded by self-hatred that we continue to want to go and just harm each other every chance we get. And you want to fold when you get in front of those white folks. You want to fold. You want to talk about how such and such did such and such. You want to fold. Because you didn't mean to take that life, but you want to prove to your homies, you want to prove to your little, so-called cousins, your little so-called brothers, whatever the case may be, that you was tough. But now that the gravity has dropped and the man hit you with life sentence, or woman hit you with life sentence, now you in awe. You in awe. Why? Why? You wanted to do it. But there's a better way. I want my young brothers and sisters to understand that there's a better way. I don't want to see any more young people die or go to prison. I don't. They say with age comes wisdom. So I guess my age has given me much wisdom. Because I see things in a different light now. I see things whereas it's sad and it's freaky, crazy. So I'm calling out Duval. I'm calling out Jacksonville. I'm calling out the West Side. I'm calling out the South Side. I'm calling out the East Side. I'm calling out the North Side. I'm calling everyone out. Let's stop this. Let's stop this. Please. Let's help our kids, man. Let's talk to them. Let's show them a better way. Let's explain to them that there is a better way. I don't know what else to say. I don't know what else to do. Um, this is just beyond me because I'm from Miami and I know one time it was bad down there, but it, I don't think it was this bad. Like, I don't know. I don't know, man. I just want to, I just wish it was something I could do. I wish it was something I can lend a hand to express just how serious I am at getting these young brothers and young sisters to understand that there's a better way. You don't have to kill a man over territory. You don't have to kill a man over colors. You don't have to kill a man over sneakers. You don't have to kill a man over music. Whatever the case may be, taking a man or a woman or a child's life is not worth it. It's really not. So I don't know what else to possibly put out there for people to understand that we have to make a stance and we have to make that stance now before we lose our kids, our grandkids, our nieces and nephews. We're going to lose them if we don't help them, if we don't put a hand out to just make a suggestion of a better way other than a negative way. For too long, we have allowed the worldly things to take over our mind, our way of thinking, and it has to stop. See, this is bigger than just who's going to be the next president. This is bigger who's going to be the governor. This is bigger who's going to be the police chief of Duval County. This is bigger than that. And speaking of police chief, I hope that this gentleman has a plan to help these young people, other than killing them, other than putting them in jail. Let's try to help them. And if you try to help 100 and you only succeed in having one, where have you failed at? You haven't failed. So I want to get feedback from everyone what you think about this. I want your input on what is going on in Jacksonville and around the state of Florida. I want you to look at everything that has transpired in the last 18 days. Whenever you listen to this podcast, 19 days, 20 days, whatever the case may be, when you listen to this podcast, please leave your comments down below. Give me some ideas what you think we can do. I don't want us not to speak on this because this is something that we should speak on. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got to talk about love and hip hop. We ain't got to talk about this and that. We can talk about what is serious, and that's saving our kids. That is saving this generation before we lose them completely. There won't be a generation for them if we don't help, if we don't step in right now. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. This has been really, really tough for me. And I hope I express myself um, as good as possible. Before I go on, guys, if you haven't subscribed to Charles Real Talk Podcast, jump on over to Facebook, jump on over to YouTube, hit that little button right there, and subscribe to the channel. And you won't miss no great information I have to share with you guys. On that channel, I do share credit rebuilding tips. I do share house buying tips, car buying tips, everything. And I give a few labs out as well. But check it out, man. Hit the subscribe button. Let me know you appreciate all this hard work I'm putting in to earn your subscription. So by doing that, I definitely hope that we can talk a little bit more and get a little bit more in depth on some much more serious topics that I want you guys to join me in. To all my Facebook friends, for some reason they still got my account restricted on Facebook. I apologize for that, but it should be restricted real soon. You guys can join in on this live podcast, but you'll be welcome to join in on the next one. Hopefully, we'll get there and get it going. Once again, I ask that you all do your part. I'm willing to do my part, but you all do your part. You all do your part by speaking to these kids, man, and let's see if we can change their mindset other than killing. Other than killing. We have got to stop it. We have got to intervene. We have got to make a stance. We have got to save our generation before this generation destroys itself completely. Martin Luther King said, "Don't let nobody tell you that you aren't somebody." And that's what these kids need to understand, that there's somebody. There are future leaders. There are future doctors. There are future lawyers. There are future veterinarians. There are future senators. There are future House of Representatives. There are future presidents, vice presidents, Speaker of the House, whatever the case may be. They need to understand that there is a better way. I ask for you guys' help in joining me in this fight. If it is no more than just to speak on it, speak on it. Don't hold your tongue and don't let this virus of hatred, lack of self-love destroy us completely. Once again, I enjoyed this time talking to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast as well. If you do, once again, jump on over to YouTube on this podcast and hit that like button. And once again, don't forget to drop your comments down below. That's Charles Real Talk Podcast on YouTube. And you can reach me at Charles Real Talk Podcast. The same thing on iHeartRadio, where you can listen to the podcast as well as leave a comment there as well. Please subscribe to the radio podcast channel as well, Charles Real Talk Podcast. Be happy to glad to have you guys over there taking a long ride. You can definitely listen to the podcast as you drive along. So I hope you guys will take advantage of that as well. Listen, guys, I'm only trying to move forward in building this platform to speak on behalf of us, the people, because someone has to be the voice and the voice of reason. I would definitely not sugarcoat anything, not hold anything back. I'm going to give it to you blood raw, because that's what this podcast is about. We give it raw, we keep it real, we keep it authentic. Ain't no fake shit here. Ain't no making up nothing here. It's going to be real for you to comprehend, real for you to revert back to, real for you to comment on. So it's going to be there for you. So don't forget to drop some comments on my YouTube channel. If you want to look at some great videos, please jump over to RRVTV on YouTube as well. That's the secondary channel that we have that you can guys can go over there and see some great videos. Those great reaction videos I did on some things as well. So with that being said, man, listen, I want to thank each of you who may take a look at this podcast. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, Charles Real Talk Podcast. Any given day, you take a few seconds just to hit that button. I would truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. It has been great. It has been wonderful. It has been educational. And I have enjoyed it. So until next time, I am your man, Mr. CRT, or Mr. Charles, as some people like to call me. And I'm coming to you from Duval, where Charles Real Talk Podcast, where we keep it real, we keep it raw, we keep it authentic all the time, each and every day. Until next time, guys, I won't bid you nothing but great love and success, and also peace.